Hey guys, this is Chris here with How to Make Games, and today we're talking about how to use a DAW, or a Digital Audio Workstation. My DAW of choice is actually Reaper. It's well, technically it's not free, but you can use it to get whatever it is you need to get done. Um, and I'll show you how to use this today. So, if you've ever encountered using a voice clip or any other sound effect and it's just a little too long, or it needs to fade at a certain point, or maybe you want to cut it somewhere, or maybe you want to change the pitch, or something else that maybe it's not loud enough. This is a program you would use to do that. So let me show you how to get started. First things first, we have no tracks here, so let's go ahead and push Control T, or if you're on a Mac, I would assume that would be Command T. Now, since we have a track now, this is what we're going to look for. So this is your volume knob here. So if you just hover over anything, it'll tell you what it is. That's going to be the main thing you're going to be using most of the time, unless you're panning sounds. This is the pan knob right here. So if it's in the middle, it means it's centered. So panning means that if you're going to be pushing sound out of a desktop or anything else like that, headphones, you have left and right speakers. So if you pan anything to the left, all the sounds will pan to the left. If you pan anything right, all to the right. In this case, since we're talking about a single track, let's say if we add there we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So what we did is we added an effects. Now, that's not necessarily always just regular effects. You can also do, you would use this for MIDI instruments. So in this case, I have Labs downloaded from Spitfire Audio, so, or vice versa, I'm not really sure which one it is. But this is really cool because they actually design different instruments, MIDI instruments you can use, which produce different sounds, and you can use those, and they're free, so you can. Now, I wouldn't use that piano unless you're really going for that kind of sound, but I've got all kinds of sounds downloaded here. So if we needed a choir, obviously want to add some reverb there. What's piano heaven sound like? Interesting. See, and you have all kinds of different ways you can make music here. Let's start with guitar. Okay, sure. So you have that on there, and we actually need to create a MIDI here for us to edit on. So we're going to go to Insert, New MIDI Item, and it's not very big. So by the way, if you want to zoom out, you can just push forward with 2 fingers and it'll do that for you. And if you drag across here, it'll just start multiplying. And it's going to do that from the beginning to the end of the track over and over until you stop. So we're going to stop here, and then we're going to right click. We're just going to hit glue, so that way it just becomes one, so we don't have to worry about it trying to loop the same thing over and over and over throughout. This is just going to be one MIDI file. And we're just going to go in here, and you can. So we're just going to go in here. We'll stick with 8th notes. You can change this if you want, so it'll subdivide 16th notes, 32nd notes, so it's smaller and smaller. We're just going to do 8th notes, that's fine. And we have C. Okay, so we're just going to stick to the C scale because that's easy to do. I wonder if there's a higher. Yeah, let's go higher. was saying with panning, if you move it to the left, and then you move this all the way to the right. So there we go. Pan center. Okay. Also, I believe if it's moved and then you double click it, yep, it recenters it. So that's a fast little trick. I'm not sure if it does it with the same thing with the volume. It does. Cool. Another thing to note is that you can actually mute your track. So if you hit mute, let's say we had multiple tracks, it would only mute this track. So if we move this down, I'm sorry, this doesn't have our instrument on it. You see how FX is turned off and it's on here? So we're actually just going to delete this track, and then if we right click over this and then hit duplicate, so you have a lot of options here. So if you hit duplicate and then unmute this one, there we go. Let's say you wanted to actually differentiate between the tracks. You'd actually hit right click, and then you would go to track color, and then just, you can hit set to random or custom color, whichever. I just hit set to random. That first option I hit only works if you have multiple on there. That's my bad. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's remove. By the way, you don't have to right click to delete, you can just click it and then hit the delete key. Okay, let's say if you did want it to loop though. So let's take it back to what it was before in length. If we did that, here, let's, just as a placeholder. And let's drag this down. And then if we hit glue, and then we just drag, you see how it just keeps on duplicating it over and over? So that's one way to do it. Now let's say you drag a sound in, so let's just grab a random sound effect. Let's go to, let's see, game sound. Let's go get something random. Like this. So it's just a random sound effect. So first things first, if you hover your mouse over the sound effect, you'll get this little slope icon. If you drag it, that's the fade. Now, it's only to start fading at this point, so we need to move the ending of the track over some. So if you hold shift, because if you just drag it over, it's going to delete it basically, because it's going to try and connect to these bars here that you have it subdivided by. But if you just want to do it by hand, hold shift and then click and then drag. So now it's way quicker, and you might need that for your game, who knows. You can do the same thing in reverse. You can fade it in. You can do both if you want. If you double click it, double left click, you can edit the take name, adjust the pitch. So in this case, if you just wanted to, let's see, if we change it by 5 semitones and then make it a little bit louder here, you see how it's decibels. So dB stands for decibels. That's how loud something is. It's a measurement of sound. Hit apply. Okay. See, it's higher now. There you go. Just create another sound effect. Easy. Let's see. Oh, if you wanted to cut something, so drag it across, and then if it's selected or highlighted like this, and you hit S, it'll cut it, and then you can delete the excess. Now, if you don't have anything selected and you hit S, it cuts everything. So be careful of that. You could use the glue function like we've been using to fix that, but best not to do it altogether. Oh, once you're done, let's say that we're done editing this. We're done editing the sound effect here. So you can drag it to the beginning, or you could have just selected it, and I'll show you what we would do next. We'll hit mute there, file, render. Of course, here's the hotkey for it. I typically use that, Control-Alt-R. So what I did is I just did the selection, and we can actually just move this over. In this case, you can't hold shift to drag it, you have to hit control, and then you would just like that. And then render custom, or sorry, time selection, and then render file. And that's it. You can change your format here. So you can change it to anything on here. Wave's gonna be the best thing because it's gonna be a lossless file type. If you want to do MP3, you can. Those are smaller, but they aren't as full and robust. Let's see, is there anything else? If you're going to add effects, go to FX, and you can just, there's plugins that come with it, plenty of them, and you can download free ones. VST, that's going to be the most common type. So let's say if we go to all plugins, and then we search, we do reverb. Sure, we'll use Dragonfly, that's fine. And then we hit play. You hear how there's a difference? Or if you want to make it really, really interesting. You know what else is really fun? If you double click this file and then you go to, where is it? Reverse. Hit apply. Hit OK. So you can get some pretty fun sound effects that way. And it's kind of quiet, so if we just increase here, hit apply. Oh, I mean, obviously I'm not really trying to do anything professionally here, but just for example's sake. Oops, I forgot to hit that up. Hit add, and then if we go to compressor, made it a little bit louder there. But there you go. That's how you can get some interesting things done in Reaper and take care of any audio editing needs that you may have. Of course, I can help with writing songs or any other questions you guys might have with this. Let me know if you do want me to do a tutorial on how to write songs quickly and effectively in Reaper using MIDI, and anything else that you can think of with this. Again, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.